welcome to the Chocolate Podcast. My name is Sebastian.
Jose, guys.
I just sneezed. It was pretty brutal. How's it going?
Good, dude.
Today, well, let's talk about first. We've been off for a little bit. What's happening? It's been crazy lately with the amount of work we have. Do you want to bring everybody up to speed of what's been happening? We missed the podcast last week. We didn't.
Yeah, that was last week. We had one. So we had
what have we been up to in the shop?
We had a Park Smart failure on one of them, Cascadia with 14.
Mm-hmm.
It had a 70 amp relay instead of having a 100 amp relay, and it overheated the board. And we had to purchase. I guess they don't sell a relay holder individually. You have to purchase the whole board, and that was pretty pricey.
Mm-hmm. And that's from what I'm thinking. That was pricey. We couldn't get it too. Then nobody had it.
Yeah, not even through Fireliner where they couldn't break it down even more.
Yeah, so that's. And then we're just kind of intaking our trucks that we bought, and that's been pretty much what's been going on with the new fleet that we bought.
Going through them thoroughly, getting them prepped so we don't have any breakdowns on the road.
Yeah, and we're done. We have one more left.
Yeah, that's the last one. That was just delivered, right?
Yeah, we're gonna definitely look at maybe more. I don't know. We'll see what's gonna happen. I think there's the market's doing okay right now. The spot is.
How about the truck prices? Have they gone up a little bit more?
Rates? Pretty significantly. We're 2018 levels plus. Yeah, so it's pretty good. Yeah, right now I think it's going to level off a little bit, and then peak probably will also go up a little bit. But all right, so what we prepped today is top 3 trucks for a specific application. So OTR, regional,
and local work.
Mm-hmm. I think we picked our top 3 specs, favorite models, kind of details around how we would spec from driver maintenance perspective, and kind of look at comfort, fuel economy, turning radius, things like that.
Yeah.
So OTR. Do you want to start off?
Yeah, OTR. If I were to purchase a truck and go OTR, I would go with 780. I have 780 or like a
Volvo 780.
Yeah, Volvo 780. Yeah. For the reason being that you're gonna get plenty of room in there. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you're gonna be over the road, you need the most room you can get.
What engine and transmission?
I would, if I could, I would put a N14 in there.
If you could, okay.
But
if
not,
you
I would,
could, yeah, because we just a quick info. We were like, I told Jose, let's do whatever. If you could put anything.
If not, then I would go with an ISX.
Okay, interesting. That's very interesting. But I'll tell you why in a second. Okay, any
13 speed for sure, definitely.
13 speed. What else would you do to it?
Gear ratio would be like 325.
Okay. And any upgrades, anything else you would add? If you don't have it, that's fine. Because I should have told you that I'm putting a deer guard on mine, right?
Oh,
but that's
okay, yeah.
Simple stuff.
Yeah.
But let me do my number 1 for OTR. Also 780 Volvo. I did write down D13 iShift, but then I changed my mind to ISX.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I actually put it down. You can see it. It's and 13 speed for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
And then low resisting tires, low rolling resistant tires, and a deer guard would be definitely something. And the reason being, why did you go with Cummins?
I would rather. I mean, they are good engines, but you have to catch them. Like we've mentioned before, at that 500 mile mark, main and rod bearings with the new oil pump, and I think.
But why that over D13 on the OTR? as far as OTR spec.
I feel like the D13 is a little bit more expensive on turbos compared to the ISX.
I have a different reason. I agree with you, but I have a different reason. Parts availability all over the country.
All Cummins, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, you definitely will run into some. Hey, we have a Volvo 150 miles away from here, and we're not getting.
We had that scenario. When was that? During this week, right?
Yeah. And we brought it in. He fixed it. Great shop. We should have actually like we should call out shops when we do good stuff with them.
Yeah, that guy did a good job.
How that picked it up so crazy, the next door.
Well, I thought it was this one.
The AC up. No, it's actually on the for the building. So okay, perfect. That's good. Number 2. What do you got? Number 2.
In OTR as well.
Yeah, OTR. Yeah.
OTR would be like a W900 with a Detroit 60 13 speed as well.
Okay, perfect. I got a number 2. My number 2 is Coronado Glider, 13 speed.
Nice.
Yeah. With custom interior, I would change the interior for one reason. It falls apart, yes, but it has potential to be nice if you make it nice and custom and tight. It will be great truck. That's the interior is the only thing that around those Coronados. If you're not careful, obviously if you leave it alone, it's fine. But if you start changing gauges and
start cracking,
repairing them, that starts cracking. So it's very important to
those interior pieces are fairly cheap though compared to like a Volvo, I think. Yeah,
they are. But I would just, for my liking, I would just customize it the way I felt comfortable. And then, so that would be my number 2.
Do you think maybe like some armor over time would help, like from them getting dry cracked or something like that? So that would be.
Yeah, the one that I have is 1.2 million. That I'm thinking about selling.
85, right?
As a really good interior.
Perfect.
It's very well taken care of, and I'm the Armor king.
Yeah.
Been buying a lot of it for our trucks. Should be sponsored by them. Number 3, what do you got?
Number 3, I would go with I would say like a Peterbilt as well, Pete 379.
Okay. So you don't have a number 3?
No, I do not. But it would have to be a Pete with a Pete 379, and that I would go with a Cat on that.
Okay.
13 speed, 18 speed. I think it's more necessary, like if you're heavy hauling, not really. If you're really going OTR, I mean, it would come in handy, like on some hills.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say it's more of a heavy hauling trans.
But what engine? What year? What model?
6NZ. 6NZ, or I would even go with the Nasert, like a twin turbo.
Okay. The only thing is you wouldn't be able to go to California and stay.
That would be the downside, yeah,
which is fine. I have my number 3 is Kenworth W900A with a Detroit custom built, fully restored long frame. And and if it wasn't, I made it number 3, but it probably would be my number
2.
1. Oh, no, number 1. I really want to build that truck, and definitely if you have the money to do it, I would go with that over. Nobody's going to finance that. You have to, do that yourself. But and the reason I went with Volvo is because if you're thinking, okay, well, as OTR owner, I want to go finance it as best as possible, and that's the reason, right? But with this, if I have the cash, then I would totally do that, and I would just ride that.
Not only that, but we've mentioned this before, that those Volvos, they have a really nice view of the road, big windshield, cab. Mm-hmm. You got enough space.
They're very comfortable.
Very comfortable.
So, so let's summarize all those 3. We can rate them, but we can also talk about. Let's talk about turning radius. 780 has a very, very good turning radius. Fuel economy.
Yeah, it's gonna be there for 100%.
For 780S Coronado, with that
you're gonna get a little bit less.
A little bit less, but you can still bring it up high, especially when you're not going fast. Looks, definitely Coronado wins over 780.
Oh yeah.
And then maintenance, depending on what you're buying, obviously, but Coronado glider probably the cheapest one. Or the mechanical.
As far as engine, yeah, mechanical wise, yeah.
What about your 3? The as far as turning radius.
Same. It would be the 780 because I went with a W900 and a 379. Those are a little bit obviously longer.
And then fuel economy.
Fuel economy, that'd be the 780. More aerodynamic compared to the W900. Looks, it'd be the 379.
Okay, that's very subjective, but that's okay. It's a preference. I mean, I like the W900s
better,
but the old ones.
Okay.
I'm not a fan of the newer ones. And then maintenance.
Maintenance, it'd be
Cheapest.
the Detroit
Cheapest.
with the 60 series.
Yep. Perfect. Second mode, regional work. What do you got for number 1?
Regional, I got like a Volvo 670.
You're going like the obvious way.
Okay, so
for us, it's obvious. For us, it's obvious. Yeah, sorry.
I'd go with a Columbia Detroit 60 series.
So number 1, what are you? So what's your number 1?
It would be the 670.
Come on, you have to make a decision. You can't.
670.
Okay.
Well, we started talking trash, so I had to go with another route.
Okay, yeah. 670. Okay.
670 with an ISX as well.
Why?
Over a D12?
No, a regional. Why would you?
Regional.
Why would you go with an ISX? Have something happened that I'm not aware?
I'm going over all the comments.
Like all now when I bought all those D13s, you're telling me you're like, comments is not. What do you think?
Putting me on the spot there, but no.
Well,
I like the power out of the Cummins.
I get it, but as far as OTR and regional, if you're coming back, obviously you might stay out. But if you're within your region, then I wouldn't worry as much about the parts availability.
Oh no, that wouldn't be an issue at all.
Yeah. But that's a good point. I have a mid-roof Coronado.
Nice.
Yeah, with a Detroit 13-speed, no bottom trim. The trim always gets messed up. And if you plan, depending on what you're doing, intermodal, flatbed, or it's a wide range of applications you can use it. If you are driving long, the long frame is going to be an issue in the city, obviously.
Yeah.
And when you're getting back in a rail, if you're doing intermodal, but I think it's optimal enough. It's 670 is as optimal as you can get, Volvo, but I didn't want to be that obvious. So
you don't want to be that Volvo freak. That Volvo.
No, I know. I really don't like Volvos. So yeah, so I think the no bottom trim is important, and definitely D13.
You would go with a D13, 60 series.
13 speed with a 12.7 Series 60. Yeah. I'm looking at my second one. That's why I said D13 was 630 Volvo.
A lot smaller.
No, it's just shorter.
Shorter, yeah.
But they're a little bit cheaper, and I don't know. I think.
Well, definitely it'd be a lot cheaper than buying that Coronado. A lot cheaper.
Mm-hmm. And so I did D13 with 13 speed.
Okay.
What's your number 2?
It was at Columbia with a Series 60, 13 speed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good one. We have some of those gliders, and as I'm looking at them, I really think it's a really good regional truck. It's just like the 670 Volvo, but a pre-emission glider.
Yeah,
it's a very good truck, but expensive. And what's your number 3? You have number 3?
No, I don't have a number 3.
I have one, and it's a surprise. Guess. Can you guess what it is? I think you're gonna guess, but
I'm gonna go with that Kenworth W900, but no.
W900?
No, that's a little too big for regional. Regional work.
It could, I mean, depends.
It can work, right?
How frame, but no, it's not. It's not that.
Let's see. Cab over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, which one?
K100.
Yes,
K100.
the Aerodyne. Yeah, that's number 3 for regional. It's a more of a fun, truck than anything. But you can find them in with Detroit, 13 speeds, and I just like the interior is big enough. It's more of a kind of a cool look, original approach, custom than anything. So if you think about comfort, obviously the Volvos are going to be a lot better in the Coronado.
The turning radius on that would be amazing, right?
Yeah, that would be awesome around the city. And then you have the sleeper double bunk. The Aerodyne has 2.
Yeah,
it's a bigger sleeper. So again,
that would be a clean build with the with the double bunk like that.
Yeah, and then just
restoring it.
We should look for it on the next project. By the way. We got a plan. So that's my number 3. But as far as turning radius, the best. Fuel economy, not so much. Definitely the Volvo fuel economy, obviously, and then comfort also. I would say comfort on the mid-roof Coronado over the Volvo 630 Volvo for sure.
Actually, if you got like a Volvo with like a Series 60, even though they stopped making those in 2000.
Which ones?
A Volvo like a 670 with the Detroit.
With
60.
the Detroit, that was
99,
the last one
right?
was 2001.
2001.
Yeah, you could still get it before they
updated
that
right
chassis.
there would be clean.
Yeah, but they're holding up like our tow truck, but they're rusting like crazy.
Yeah, frame's gonna be beat up.
Yeah, they're so rusty. But if you find a clean one, they're around Chicago. I see a lot of those.
Oh yeah,
still working the local stuff. Okay, great.
Even though it is a pain in the butt, like removing the valve covers on those.
Yeah.
With the Detroit, it sucks.
Yeah. But I don't know, maybe the 630 Volvo D13 with a I-shift. Regionally, I wouldn't be worried about brake. I mean, those I-shifts are bulletproof, but I would probably say OTR I-shift more than regional, because of why?
The fuel economy. I mean, more than one.
The direct drive 11th gear 2.47 the final ratio on the D13s with the I-shift setup.
Yeah.
So that's 11th gear is direct, and that's very good for fuel economy. So
yeah, you're definitely gonna be getting
probably take my comments back. I would do D13 with an I-shift, and then just haul a lot of parts with me. A lot of injectors. Hey, I have a set of injectors
6-pack
in
right
my
here,
sleeper.
ready to go.
Yeah. Okay, local.
I would go with. It would have to be no emissions. Definitely, because DPF, all that's gonna get clogged up quick with all the idling. You're not really hitting highways, so you can get that temperature on the DPFs, DOCs. 12.7.
In what chassis?
I put a day cab, FLD 120.
Yeah, those are good.
Like Columbia.
Columbia's the
perfect.
Coronado day cabs are awesome. Did you see that?
Yeah, I seen those.
Yeah, those are nice. Interesting, because I have it as my number 3. Would be my Coronado.
Coronado day cab.
Coronado day cab. Yeah. Do you have anything else for local?
I put like with the N14, either with like a 10 speed or a Super 10. I don't think there's really much need for a 13 speed.
No, you're right. I agree with that. So my number 1 is W900A custom day cab with a N14 13 speed. That would be.
Oh, you would go with the 13 speed?
Yeah.
Even if you're doing like a 100-mile radius?
I just like how it shifts. And it doesn't really matter that much depending on obviously what local work you're doing.
Yeah.
I would look at if I'm pulling super heavy.
Then yeah, it comes in handy.
Yeah, but just kind of most optimal that you can be is
we 13 speed. Yeah.
But that was my number 1, custom, like black, low, nice looking, and then number 2. So number 3, I told you that was the Coronado. glider. But number 2, do you have an idea what I put in there? It's a surprise.
So you got the Coronado day cab. Is it another day cab? Or cab? No. Cab over.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, you know which one?
Is it going to be the same one?
No,
K100 or
mid-70s Freightliner.
Freightliner?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really like those. They have a little bit of a sleeper, but the turning radius and
Yeah, the sleeper's a lot smaller for sure.
Yeah, and and you have a sleeper. That's the thing. You the visibility probably would be a little harder than day cab conventional, but I think just looks and cool factor probably.
Yeah, cool factor for sure.
Cool factor is up. Fuel economy not so much, but it doesn't really matter if you have it around let's say Chicago or any metropolitan area. You're just either idling or you're driving 100-mile radius.
That'd be perfect for the rails.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then maintenance. The only thing is trying to get the cab up.
That's
the only thing. But everything else is very easy to get a hold of. But that's my 3 in local. Day cab, Kenworth custom day cab, and then a Freightliner, number 2 Freightliner cab over mid-70s, like super classic, nice, either restore or whatever. You can find a lot of them in really good condition still. And number 3 day cab Coronado glider with an N14.
Yeah, I went with the N14 or a Detroit 60 series.
Yeah,
10-speed.
Awesome. I think we got some good ideas here. I think this is very optimal. We got some cool factor in here. We got some fuel economy. Anybody can, depending on which way you're leaning more.
Yeah. Coolness, or you want to make some money.
Yeah. It never goes hand in hand. It's always either or, right? No, but there's some classic gliders, classic builds that
you can get some good fuel economy out of them. I mean, obviously it's going to cost you some more money to get it to that optimal fuel economy, but it's doable.
And it's also a lot of, it's speed. It's speed management.
Yeah.
So if you don't have to go 75 all the time, then
you'll be good.
Awesome. Thank you guys for listening, watching, subscribe, share, and we'll talk to you soon.